Hi, it's Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style. Today I thought I'd talk about how to set yourself up for style success. I hear many women say things like, I'm not stylish, I have no style, I don't know how to be stylish, it's all too hard, I haven't got the time, I need more money, or they'll come up with excuses such as, I haven't got the right body shape, I haven't got a big budget for clothes, hate shopping, all sorts of things. So how do we set ourselves up for style success? So I was actually just listening to an interview with James Clear, who wrote the book Atomic Habits, and there's so much great stuff in that book. I have read it some years ago. I think I might read it again. But there's a few things he talked about in that which I thought, they really apply to you and your style and how you can set yourself up for style success. The first one is that your environment shapes what happens. So you want to set up your environment in a way so it's easy to succeed. So the whole thing with a habit is it's not hard to pick up many bad habits, such as, eating the chocolate or, not bothering to pick up your clothes or eating too many donuts or not going to the gym or doing exercise. They're easy things to do because in some ways they're things that we are not doing or that they are very easy to do. It's very easy to eat something in a way that tastes yummy. But how do we change habits? And this is where we want to set up environment to help us succeed. So we want to take something from how it is easy to form a bad habit and turn into how do I make a new habit easier? How do I make it sustainable? So this is where setting your environment up for style is going to make a big difference. So thinking about what is my wardrobe environment like? Is it easy for me to access my clothes? Is it easy for me to access my accessories? Is everything at hand? Is it organized so it only takes me a few moments to find it? Or am I constantly shuffling through my clothes every day, trying to find something and not knowing if it's in the wash or if it's in the wardrobe? So the first thing I say is we want to think about setting up your wardrobe, because when that is easy to see, when it's much more like a boutique or where it's a much more pleasant environment, A, we'll enjoy spending some time in there, but B, it takes less time. It makes it really easy for us to find things in the morning. And this is why I recommend doing things like categorizing your clothes by style of clothing. So it could be tops together, shirts together, pants together, jackets together, dresses together, skirts together, that sort of thing. And then by color. And then I go through the rainbow. So when you're trying to decide decide what color goes next to what, well, use the rainbow as your guide. It's a really easy way. And of course, it always looks gorgeous. So that's one thing. So thinking about how do I set things up and having the clothes that you want to be wearing most of the times in the easiest to access points in your wardrobe. One of the things I always do when I go into a wardrobe with a client is I ask them where they go first. Like, what's the part of their wardrobe they gravitate to first thing in the morning? And that'll be usually the part that is easiest to access because it's easier versus if there's a bit down the back or there's a bit and it's a bit hard to see or it's dark or whatever, we tend to avoid going there because we can't see as easily. So if you've got your best clothes in that bit of the wardrobe, they'll tend to get ignored. So I always recommend thinking about when you're setting up your wardrobe, look at the environment and put the things that say are the special event wear in those hard to access corners and put your, smart clothes that are more stylish in your easiest to access points. So thinking about doing it in that way. So make it easy for you to access. Then think with things like, folding things up. If you've got things in stacks or behind, like you've got deep shelves and things go to the back and you never see them again, there's a bit of a black hole back there. Why not do things like get some baskets or something that you can put on the shelves and turn those shelves into drawers? And then I recommend doing like the Marie Kondo style folding, where things are folded vertically rather than horizontally, because it is so much easier to access your clothes, find your clothes, see exactly what you've got. So think about, how do I make my wardrobe easy to access and a pleasant place to be in? And then things like accessories. Many people have seen my wall of necklaces. I basically have little cup hooks on one wall of my walk-in wardrobe, and all my necklaces hang off that. Then I've got like a little pull-out drawer in where my drawers are, and that's divided up with like clear, kind of perspex dividers. There's lots of these sorts of things you can get, and all my rings and earrings and all those sorts of things are, categorized by color in that area. So when I am going, where's my bracelet, or where's my ring, or where's my necklace, all these things easy to lay a hand on, fast and easy to put on. So I'm going to access them because they're not difficult for me to get to. And this is the thing, is we're all time poor. If it's difficult to get something, if all your necklaces are tangled up in a box, which is shut and it's out of the way, you're not going to think about putting on a necklace because it's just too hard. It makes it too difficult. Like, how are your shoes accessed? I know some people like to keep them in shoe boxes, but for me, that just wouldn't work. I am never going to go under a stack of boxes to pull out a pair of shoes. I have, like, one of the things I did when we, reorganized our wardrobe was to create some shoe drawers. So I can just pull out the drawers and my pairs of shoes are all there. So really easy to access. So think about your environment and how that is hindering you from getting dressed. So if you tend to avoid looking at something or finding something, there's probably something about that environmental situation that's making it hard. And anything hard, we just can't be bothered with. We're busy. We've got other things to do. So we want to make it easy for ourselves. So that is the first thing I want to talk about today, is setting up that environment to succeed. Because when you are going, I want to wear my blue and, white wiggly stripe shirt, what I'm wearing today, if I go to my, my kind of cobalty blue section of my wardrobe, if it's not in there, I know it's in the wash. It's fast and easy for me. So I go, if it's in the wash, is it in the laundry, hung up, or is it something that I've worn recently? It's much easier for me to check than I'm going through my wardrobe, trying to find that thing. So that makes it easy to do. So I'm setting up my environment success. Then we want to think about tiny changes. So they talk about the way that pilots kind of set their navigational course, and a 1 degree change of course, which even is only a tiny bit, will take the plane completely off course over time. And it's the same thing for habits and how we change how we are being and behaving. So if we make tiny changes over time, this actually stacks up to a lot. It makes a huge difference. And this is why you're unlikely to, wake up one day and have all your style sorted. But if you keep making tiny changes every day, if you think about, you've got to get dressed every day anyway. So why not think about, what little change am I going to make today? And this is why I developed my Evolve Your Style Challenge. It's 31 days of small, experiments, but within that time, it makes quite a big difference and has a big impact on your style. It's been described as life-changing by many people who've done it. And that is because making these small changes, even just having a small focus on your style every day, and that's what the Evolve Your Style Challenge does, is it actually gives you a focus, which makes it easier rather than trying to have to think up on yourself. It then gives you that kind of structure to work within, and it makes those, helps you make some small changes. And within that month, you've made a bunch of small changes, which has had a big impact on your style. And in fact, I usually find by 14 days, it's had a big impact. So think about, like, if you were turning 1 degree every day, in that aeroplane, or, every minute in that aeroplane, that would be a 14-degree change. And that's quite a big change. It's going to set you to a new country. So just thinking about with your style, just in 14 or 30 days, you can make a big difference because you are just in small ways making changes. So they are a couple of things I want you to think about when you are thinking about, well, how do I become more stylish? Because, if you are saying, I can't be stylish because I'm not a slim model, what you could do is go online and look up some stylish women who are not slim models. There are plenty of them out there. Once you see that you can be stylish without a model body shape, maybe you can change how you think about it. But if you're making a decision that, you have to be a model body to be stylish, then you're, like falling at the first hurdle. So that system of thinking isn't working for you. So I think it's go out, do some research, have a quick look around. It's not hard to find some people who are, not young. Like there are plenty now of very fashionable women in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Just look up, hashtags on Instagram like 50 plus or 60 plus or, 70 plus style or fashion, those sorts of things. You will find plenty of very stylish women. So this is where making small changes, setting your environment up, and like maybe, trying to break how you think in a little way, like just make sure that your thinking is not stopping you from doing what you want, has a huge impact on your style over time. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to go reorganize your wardrobe. Bye for now.